Hey guys, how's it going? Thomas here. So today we're going to be talking about building and setting up a crypto mining shed. So for anybody who wants to get into cryptocurrency, and once you actually get serious about it and you've got a bunch of miners, the fact of the matter is they got to come out of the house and they got to go somewhere. Where you're going to put them? You're going to put them in the garage, or you're going to get a dedicated building such as a shed and put them in that shed. Me, situations are pretty obvious. We're going to go with a crypto mining shed. So with any kind of cryptocurrency or crypto mining shed, you got to start off by finding a site. I've got my transit sitting here. I've marked off the area, tried to figure out what's the levelest, where do I want the building at. Found me a nice spot here, got it marked. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to dig 6 holes in the ground and pour concrete piers. And what that will allow me to do is have a solid foundation for the building to set on. I don't want the building to lean over time or start sliding or anything like that. I want it setting nice and level, and I want it on a solid footing. So we are going to pour concrete piers, and then the building's going to get set on top of that. We got 400 amp service panel over here. We're going to put in a 200 amp disconnect on the wall over here, and then we're going to run the power into the building itself. And we're going to cover all that and setting this building up and how to do it, how to put your venting in the wall, what type of modifications you want, exhaust fans, CFMs, all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about this. So this ain't going to really be so much about cryptocurrency. It's going to be more about constructing a shed for cryptocurrency, and that's the purpose of this video. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead, get started here, clearing out all this brush, and I'm going to get started here digging my post holes. Hopefully I can get to that today. If not, I'll get started on that first thing tomorrow. But anyways, guys, let's get to it. So I just got back from Lowe's. I got my concrete mixer, my wheelbarrow set up right here, and my extension cord to hook everything up. But I'm going to be using 5,000 PSI Quikrete. And the reason I'm going to be using the 5,000 PSI versus just a standard Quikrete is if you add too much water on it, it reduces the PSI value of the concrete itself. So I'm going to go ahead and go with something a little bit stronger. These tubes are 48 inches, and I'm going to cut them down into 3 pieces. So there's 2 of them there, and we're going to put those in the ground, and then we're going to pour concrete piers. Now it's a 12-foot building, so I got a 2x4, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this 2x4 on the ground long ways, and I'm going to screw from the inside of the tube into the 2x4. That way all 3 of the tubes on the one side are identical and they're good and level, and I'll be able to hit them with the level and make sure everything lines up good. And then I'll pour my concrete and everything, drop it down the hole and stuff, get that all set up, and then the next day I'll come rip the 2x4 off and repeat the process on the opposite side. All right guys, so I decided to make a quick stop down here on the prefab mobile home lot, and there she is, our building. Had to stop by, I lost my measurements, but I had to stop by and get the dimensions on the bottom of these skids. It's just 6 foot from the outside of one skid to the outside of the other skid. So I was doing that, but a bunch of buildings here to choose from. I kind of like that building there. That's the one I would have probably gotten. Thing is, it's just a little bit larger and it costs more money, and because, as you guys can tell, we're on a hill, I wanted the smallest building they had, which is this building here. I hate the fact that this building does have a window, but we'll probably board that window up. A lot of you guys would say, well, you just open the window, let air into the building and stuff that way. Well, I could do that, but there is one problem with doing that, and that problem is the wind, the rain and stuff like that would actually blow into the building. So that's definitely a no-go. But anyways, let's go ahead and get to Lowe's, get some more concrete, and get back to doing our piers. So got the goodies right here. Got back from Lowe's. I got 8 bags on the truck, and I got 6 more bags right here. Hopefully that'll be enough. Now let's go ahead and walk around here to our project. So I picked up 6 of these blocks here, these half blocks, and I thought they were about 4 inches thick. They're actually, I think, about 3.5 or something like that. So it comes out, 2 of them together comes out to be like 7 1/4. So I poured these 2 last night, and I went ahead, and this one I didn't have enough to finish it off, so I took 2 little pieces of scrap rebar stuck in there, and I'll pour it now. I'm gonna go ahead and pour it here in a few minutes, but I got these holes all dug. These over here are set and level and stuff, and I then tore everything down. I should have took a video over here just a few minutes ago, but it's starting to actually get late in the evening. But all these are basically dug, and what I'm doing is basically this side over here, it's lower, so these are about 7 inches lower than this side over here, which is actually pretty good. But anyways, I'm taking stakes, as you can see, and I'm driving them in at an angle and then putting a screw in them one way and then screwing them to this 2x4, which is actually level all the way down through there. And then there's 6 feet between the holes and stuff, so everything's going to go good. So I'm going to go ahead, get the concrete poured, and then I'm going to cover this with a tarp because it's supposed to rain tonight. I've had 2 beautiful days up in the 60s and stuff, and we're, you know, early spring. I mean, it's cold and stuff, so it's been down in the 40s and everything like that. But this is going to actually work out really well, these 2 nice days. But I'm going to get this poured, cover this up with a tarp, and then give it a couple of days to cure, and then they'll bring it and set the building. So hopefully they'll be able to get the building on top of here. These holes, it's I got 6 foot across here, and those block and stuff, they're going to put 2 of those half blocks on each of these this lower side. So hopefully everything works out. But anyways, let me go ahead and get the concrete mixer fired up, and let's get to it. All right, guys, so I got all 6 piers here poured, got some of the dirt and stuff cleared out of here and stuff yesterday, and basically now I'm just waiting for them to call so they can bring this building out here and make the delivery. But basically everything looks good, looks solid. Got it all cleaned up here and stuff nice. And what they'll do is they'll take 2 half blocks and set on each of these lower piers here and be able to set that building and stuff here. Hopefully everything goes good. And I'm going to have to move those scaffolds there. I'm going to probably put another 200 amp power panel there with feed through in behind those, and then I'll have to dig a ditch from that one panel over, and then from where the scaffolds are all the way down here to the back of this building, and possibly over here to the side. I'm thinking over from the back side, so I'm gonna have to come all the way down and around and over. And if you're in conduit, you have to be 18 inches deep, so you can figure I got about maybe 20-30 foot of digging there, which is that's going to definitely be a fun project, right? But anyways, guys, looking forward to getting our building. Building is being offloaded now. It just finally showed up after about 2-3 weeks, so that's good. So hopefully we can get it offloaded and get it to where it needs to go here and everything. And yeah, hopefully everything works out. All right, guys, so we got the building here, and they got it set and everything, and we noticed that on the front of the building there in the bottom corner, one of the hinges is actually missing. So they put a repair order in and stuff, and it actually came from the factory like that. I just noticed it when they were doing the delivery. So I'm going to get a new hinge for that door there. I'll probably replace all the hinges and stuff just because this is a crypto mining shed. But other than that, everything went good. It fits perfect down on the piers. Basically, they got everything lined up. This turned out just right over here. We got our spacing on the bottom of these just the way I wanted it. So if you come down here and look, you can see they didn't have to shim it or anything like that. He did put one shim over there, but more or less, this building, it is setting absolutely level. Now, I didn't plan on really doing this, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do it just because we're putting so much money into this at this point. I'm going to go pick up some actual anchors, and we're going to anchor this building down. I'm going to put one anchor there and then one anchor down there. So we'll have a total of 4 anchors on this. So this building will be anchored. That way the wind can't pick it up or anything like that. Now, there's different kinds of anchors you guys can get. I'm going to go with mobile home anchors. There's a mobile home dealership nearby. So I'm going to ride down there, pick up a couple anchors. And I think they just quoted me like $8 per anchor. So I'll pick up 4 of them, and the strapping and everything, it'll be less than like 50 bucks, and this building will never go anywhere. So let's go ahead, go get the anchors and get those screwed down into the ground. So after this building was set yesterday, I went to Lowe's and went to town and picked up some stuff. So I got some stuff at Lowe's, got some stuff at the local mobile home dealership, the electrical supply store, and got myself some lunch. And altogether, I spent about $1,000. We got some power panels, we got some electrical wire, a bunch of stuff here. We'll get into that later on. But this is what we're going to use to anchor the building. These are mobile home anchors. You got square holes here, and you basically screw these in the ground. And we put these in the ground, we're going to put them in like this at a 45-degree angle. So you want to put them at an angle as you're going under the building like that and stuff. You don't want to go straight down with them. You want to go in kind of at an angle, okay? So we're going to have 4 of these on each corner of the building. Now, we're going to use strapping, which is this stuff here. And typically mobile home strapping will actually have this like hook here. That way you can wrap it around the I-beams and latch it. This is a different type of attachment here. This is actually more for skids. So we'll put lag bolts through here. Now, we're going to cut these straps and stuff when we put them on these mobile home anchors and attach them to the building. But if you're going, but for example, like right here, this end here, how am I going to attach that to the skid? So what I'll do is I'll come back about 6 inches and I'll bend this over, I'll fold this over, and I'll take a hammer and smash it down. Then I'll drill it, and then, you know, through both layers, okay, and I'll drill it, and then I'll put my lag bolts in, attaching that to the skids. And the reason you want to do that is when you get a lot of tension, wind resistance or something, it'll actually rip through this mobile home strap here, okay? So that's what'll happen there. So these are metal strap, and you gotta be careful, these are sharp. I don't really like holding them like this, I'm afraid I'm gonna cut myself. But the way these bolts work here, okay, and these are special bolts, these are mobile home bolts, they got a slice in them. And the way this works, you can take the strapping, and you can see that strap goes right through the center of that bolt, okay? So what we'll do is we'll attach the strapping to the bottom of the building itself. And there's 2 ways to do that, right? So we have a skid here in the middle, okay, we got a skid. So we can take the strapping, attach it on the front of it, run it across the top, down, the back, and under, and then tie it to the anchor. But what that'll do is that'll create like side tension, right? So we don't want to do that. We want to take the strap, attach it to the front of the skid with our lag bolts. We're going to run the strap down underneath the skid, around the back of it, across the top and down to our anchor over here, and then we're going to tighten it down. And that's what you're going to do, right? So the way these bolts here work is the bolt itself will basically put it in to the anchor itself, but we're not going to push it all the way in. And then we'll tighten it with a ratchet once we get that strapping on it. And once you get it real tight, what you'll do is you'll put the nut on the end here, and then you'll tighten that down. And what that will do is it will draw that square shape that's actually on the inside of the bolt here into the anchor itself. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but as you can see, you can see it right in there, but there's a square right here on the end of that. Okay, and that's what we're wanting right there. We want to get that in there, but we're going to tighten the strap down first, and then we'll push it in like that, and then lock it, and then we'll take that nut and tighten it down. It just fell on the ground. I have to pick that up. So we're going to go ahead, put these in the ground. There we go. All right, guys, I think we got it here. Now comes the fun part, just getting this all the way down in here. So we got one of these here in the ground, had a hell of a time with it. Now we got a, we got 3 more to go, and I can't even catch my breath just getting that one in. And this one was hard enough. So I know for a fact trying to get the ones on the other side of the building that are low to the ground that I can't even get to, let alone reach, is definitely not going to be an easy task. So let's go ahead and get to those, shall we?